Alright, section 2-5 is all about the zeros of polynomial functions, and just as a refresher, the zeros are all the places 1, 2, 3, 4 in this example where our graph crosses the x-axis. And so that's our task today, is to find all of those places. Not as easy as it might seem if we're just looking at a graph. A lot of things going on here. So we're going to start with the fundamental theorem of algebra. If you have a degree n, so remember your degree, if I have x to the 6th plus x to the 4th minus a whole bunch of stuff, and 6 is my biggest exponent, biggest power, then n is my degree, 6 is my degree. Alright? If my degree is bigger than 0, then we have at least one 0. Okay, so it has to cross at least once in the complex number system, which means maybe imaginary numbers are involved. So we've got a lot of stuff to look at in this chapter. Alright, so the linear factorization theorem basically says you're able to count up all the powers to figure out how many zeros there should be. So if we look at an example, x minus 2, x to the first, our degree is 1, it has exactly 1 0. On this one, we have x squared. So if it was like this, if it was written out like this, it'd be easy to see that we have 2 zeros. But if it was factored for us, if the problem was written like this, we need to count all the exponents. 1 plus 1 for 2 zeros. All right? Same thing if we look down here. We've got x to the first, to the first, to the first. That's 3 zeros. And same thing as we go down into 4 and 5 and 6. One thing to keep in mind is that this counting works even if the exponent isn't 1. If I had this problem, x minus 1 squared, x plus 3, we'd have 3 zeros. But remember, we'd only actually see 2 of them because we'd have 1, we'd have negative 3, but the 1 would be a double 0. Remember, it's multiplicity of 2 on that one. Alright, so let's find all the zeros of the function we can on this one. Go ahead and try this for a second. When you are ready to go, unpause and I'll do the answer for you. Alright, I see x to the first and x to the second, so I'm looking for 3 zeros total. I see from right here that x is going to equal 0. That's one of my answers. I see from in here that x is going to equal 6. And it's going to be a double. Multiplicity of 2. Alright? So that's all the zeros of this function. It only looks like there's 2, but remember that 6 counts twice.